There we go. So we're recording. Can you,
Got Eric and we got Jackie.
Brianna, can you hear us all right?
I can hear you.
Jackie, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, and Eric? Hello, Eric, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Okay. Ken. Could you do me a favor and write down the 3 people that are on? Or that's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write them down.
I'm writing them down too.
We will start in approximately 4 minutes. Bless your guys' hearts for coming. Thank you. Good, we can have a meeting. Always first criteria on my mind. Bless you.
Hey, Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Howdy.
Good. I tried calling you last night.
I know, I'm sorry, I just said that I remembered.
I was gonna let you know if anyone called in about the completely destroyed Ford Foundation bike rack.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Across from Oliver on First Avenue.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, the truck must have made a right, like going out to Ivy, I mean, I don't know, those things, I don't know how you flat one like that, it's impressive. It's what it looks.
Did he stop it? Did he stop it? Tell you guys who he was?
No, I just saw it on my way home. Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not okay, geez, well.
But I figured it'd be all over, so, no, but it's lucky we got so many extras. No, it was one of them. That with the flat bar with, I can't remember what.
By Canby.
By Canby, yeah,
Okay, so those we have a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Jeez.
27 years ago today.
Yeah, there.
I know.
Your birthday?
It's my anniversary.
Well, congratulations. Hey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. you got it.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. We had ours yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
Hey.
Yeah, she's still taller than me.
Were you hoping to grow?
And I'll lose my hair.
Okay. Why don't we start? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome all. I appreciate everybody attending and welcome everybody. This is the Canby Traffic Safety Commission meeting on August 9th, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. Let's go around and introduce everyone. My name is Bob Canberra. I am the chairperson for this commission. Behind me is my son, Malachi Canberra. He's visiting with us today.
Council President Tracy Hensley, I'm the liaison to this commission.
Jerry Nelson, City of Canby Public Works.
Deanna Ballpark, Vice Chairperson.
Clinton Coleman, traffic safety member.
Jackie,
I am Jackie Jones, Secretary for the commission.
Jenny,
Hi, Jenny Driscoll, member of the committee.
Eric,
Good morning, Eric Van Zant, member.
Piana. Piana,
Brianna, City of Canby Planning and Development Services.
welcome everybody. Okay, Jackie was so nice to prepare our minutes. We appreciate it. Did everybody have a chance to review? Any comments? Is,
I sent Jackie an email, but I wasn't at the meeting, so, because she had me down as being there, so I wanted to just make
Okay.
that.
I will update that.
Thank you.
okay, thank you for that. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
I move we approve the July 12th, 2023 minutes as amended.
Is there a second?
I
I
said,
second.
Okay, Eric has second, Clint has moved. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Approved. All right. Let's wait for a second. I'm hoping that Kelsey Greer will come. She indicated that she was thinking about being here. She's the person who brought the concern about Northwest Second, and we did the traffic data for that. So let's just come back to that, okay? And give her a chance to see if she comes. If not, then we'll talk about it. Moving on to old business. We had a whole bunch of, Jackie does a great job of putting together an action item list, okay? So I'm gonna kind of go down that action item list real quick. I don't know if people have all seen it on the email that she sent out. It says Bob will formalize the letters. There were 3 letters that we sent to the city that you approved last time. One was regarding the truck signs on the making suggestions as far as where the truck signs were. The other was regarding click, Bob, come on, think. The other one was the traffic sign, the signal at Ivy and 13th Street, asking that there would be designated left turn lanes there on 13th Street. And the other one was asking for the city to advocate reducing the speed from on Ivy Street from 13th Street to the Malala Bridge. Presently, it has a 40 mile, and then it increases to, I think, 50 or so further out at about 18th. And we're asking that it be reduced to 30, or recommending that it be reduced to 30 all the way to the Malala Bridge. Those letters have been sent, and we will, is there any discussion about that at this point? Oh,
Well, I have,
good.
this is the time to,
Yeah, right.
yeah, well, first of all, I want to start off with, and hopefully Councilor Hensley can bring this up in council meeting or liaison report, but how much I appreciate this committee and that process and how easy it makes my life by going through council, through my city administrator, and then me directed to be able to do this stuff. And what I found when doing this, I was sending these emails off, being able to attach that the city administrator knew with your guys's letters, made this super simple for me. So first of all, I submitted a speed request, and I forwarded that request to Bob Canvas so that he could see it, but had a couple of emails back and forth that I didn't share for you, but they're actually investigating from 13 to the bridge, moving at 30 miles an hour. So the state's looking at that, which is great news. I forward the letter that you guys wrote about the signage and stuff on the outskirts of town for trucks and all the rest of the stuff. They actually, I sent that email to Joe Merrick. Joe Merrick was on vacation. He forwarded that to one of their supervisors, and the supervisor reached out to me and goes, I don't know what you guys want. And I said, did you get the letter that the traffic safety committee wrote? He goes, no. So I forwarded that to him. He goes, thank you, very helpful. So he's looking into that. And then the third one, the signal, I contacted, we have an IGA with Clackamas County for the signal work. The former supervisor for the signals let me know that he's got the information, but he's got to reach out to Joe Merrick. So we're kind of waiting for Joe Merrick to get back from vacation. So I think we're gonna make headway on this.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll put it on there. I intend to put the 3 letters like on an agenda for a 2-month review, 2 months from now, to see, you know, if you guys don't mind.
Right.
That's where it may be resolved by then, but at least it helps us track.
I do, Bob, want to just, I'm serious how helpful that is for me, how much time and work it saves. I know it's work for you guys, those letters are a lot of work, but I just want to know it's not, it's appreciated. So,
Well, I won't, now maybe this is the glad boy type. I just want to appreciate you guys too.
Yeah.
Because as a committee, we put some effort out and you guys really do your best to respond to it. So I thank you. The good working relationship we have with the city. And this makes the committee want to participate. I hope I speak for all of you, I hope.
Well, Eileen asked me about what we're supposed to do with these letters. It's like, well, Jerry has the backstory and all this, go talk to him. But I have to say, I told Eileen, it's like, it's not because I'm the liaison to this commission, but I happen to think this is the best functioning commission we have.
you guys, you don't understand how awesome this is. It's amazing. And not only are you a good committee to work with, you do it during my work hours. I don't have to hear out. It's absolutely amazing. You know, I mean, which, no, it's just, I would agree with Tracy on this. It's a great committee.
Well, bless your heart.
Well, Tracy got it all started.
Yes. Then, is there any questions from the commission regarding the letters?
Actually, I have a paper copy. Could you forward me the digital versions?
I would.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, we'll do that. Moving on. Eric, it has here that you were gonna talk about the red flex system, but I based on last month's report from Officer Miller, maybe you and I should meet before then, yeah? Hello?
You're muted.
Eric, are you okay? Can you hear us?
No.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I'm testing a new system. Can you hear me now?
Yes. We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. Unfortunately, I'm testing a new system and it's not quite up to snuff yet.
No problem.
I don't have any progress notes to give yet. I asked here several months ago for some feedback from the group about questions and answers they possibly have or concerns. And I received a few. As a matter of fact, I just had something come to light yesterday about the system. So I'm still work in progress. So
Okay.
I will try to have something drafted up next month.
If I can add something to that, and thanks, Aaron, for all your work on this. This is Clint, and I was just gonna say, maybe if you could point out the governor's new changes to the rules for a community like ours, and you know, what is different and what kinds of things do we have the option to pursue to try to support the efforts of the police and keep our community safer.
Okay, done.
Thanks.
Going down this list, Jerry, you were gonna speak to a person on North Locust about their parking and safety concerns?
Yeah, and Spencer followed up with them, but I'm not sure. We explained to him that we're gonna have to paint that yellow, and especially during fair stuff, but I gotta follow, I forget what Spencer, came up with that. Are they still parked there?
No,
Yeah, he talked to him. He had a pretty good, relationship with them working on the project, so they probably don't want.
yeah, they're not parked any
Good.
longer. This is on North Locust. There is a bump out because one person, they have a right, chose not to have,
They wanted to keep their trees.
they wanted to keep their tree.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is they had to create a bump out. And in creating the bump out, it extends out into the roadway, so it eliminates parking on that particular bump out. And they were parking there, which then automatically limited the lane to only one lane if there's cars parking on the other side. So
Boy, that road is so much nicer.
it is really.
Yeah, and so hopefully that's fixed, Bob.
Yeah, and I suspect, I see that you guys are busy painting throughout the city. I think that's a piece that should be painted, but it eventually will be.
I think so, yeah, I'll follow up on that.
I'm Jennifer, it's got something for you. I mean, it says Jennifer to see if a four-way stop can be added to the traffic system plan, and I have no idea what
Was that a second?
was that.
I
I
thought it was a second.
don't remember where that was.
It was just the notes, it was just notes that I wrote down that Jenny was gonna go do that. But
That's okay, Jennifer.
Oh,
Good job.
I'm not 100% sure. All I remember about four-way stops was we were talking about, could we put some in on, I guess it was Elm on the north side of town, maybe second, third, and fourth, because they're two-way stops now. So there's only stops for the east and westbound traffic, and it's really difficult to see north and south, and we have the traffic coming off of 99 and a lot of traffic that routes down from kind of the Knightsbridge area. So it was just asking people to look at that, and then wanted to have a discussion about what our options might be for four-way stops at some of those intersections.
Okay, so what intersections were there again?
Yeah, I believe it. Yep, and I was curious about second, third, and fourth.
Northwest second,
Northwest.
third. No.
Well, yeah, that second is a tricky one, because if you're coming from the post office and you nudge out, well, the cars are all parked along the church there, and, oh man, it's really tricky.
It's bad. And I've seen that a lot of bicyclists have been hit in that area too, like, because you just kind of see that every once in a while where you see reports of people on bikes getting hit. And I'm not surprised because they can't see any better than the cars can.
Yeah, so we're really talking about North Elm, the one.
Yep.
The park, post office road.
Yes.
Is that
Yep.
right there?
Yeah, but I'd like to look at the intersections of second, third, and fourth. We can't do anything about first because it's too close to 99, but north of the equipment rental place, those couple blocks are all really difficult to get across Elm. And lots of people cut through town because of all of the post office, because of the homes in that area and everything else.
Okay. So we'll put it on the agenda for discussion then. Everybody can go and look at that area and really give it some thought. Four-way stops cannot be used necessarily for speed. They can be used national standard wise. They should be used for flow of traffic and the danger of the flow of traffic.
Yeah, but
And
it's not necessarily speed that's the issue,
Yeah.
it's visibility.
I have a comment on that.
yeah,
If you guys go and take a look at Second and Ivy, it's similar. It's similar. I think there'd be more cross traffic on Elm Second, but it would scare me to put in a four-way stop without Ivy. You know how we were gonna move the urban renewal was gonna go and finish that eventually down there, and it would be bump outs, push the pedestrians in. And so it's so wide. That's the other thing that makes it so scary. You've got such a long road to get across when you're crossing.
Yeah.
And so we've been trying to figure out how to fix that since I've been here.
Mhm.
So, that's my opinion on it.
The only other thing I would throw out as a comment for people to look at is, four-way stop is certainly an option. The other is restricting parking on
Yeah,
all four sides of the street so that you can have a lot more visibility.
yeah.
And that's one of the biggest issues. You kind of edging out because you can't see.
And then you got 40 some feet of road to get across. It might be wider than that there. I'd have to measure because it's got that.
It's really wide.
It might be 60 foot wide.
It gets a little hairy because people coming off, I think, people coming up Elm from 99. They get across that thing, they pick up some speed.
Yeah.
You know?
What's interesting about Elm, oh, I'm sorry. It didn't come through on my end. Sorry,
Okay.
Grace.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Elm is the only street in that area that isn't four-way stops at those roads. So if you look at Grant, Holly, Ivy, all of them have four-way stops in those areas in second, third, and fourth, but we don't on Elm. And it's kind of odd because it's an outlier in comparison to what you'd expect from being in other parts of kind of the near downtown area and coming off of 99 and all of that. So it's an anomaly compared to the others.
Okay,
It's both wider and doesn't have a four-way, so.
I will put it on the agenda for a discussion item, specific discussion item, so that we can really talk about it and get everybody. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
52.
All right. The last item on the action list was Jackie to add to the agenda the future traffic analysis. So that's
Yes, I still gotta do that.
okay. All right, then, I think we've given Ms. Greer time to join us. So we'll jump back to that discussion of Northwest Second. I believe, hopefully I sent everybody received, I did thanks to you very much to Public Works and to Spencer for putting out the digital speed camera down there. And we collected 7 days of data. And I did a short report for you based upon that data. Now, this is not a professional traffic study. This is me gleaning the information and I put it together for you. And I'm going to just go over briefly my perspective of this. You guys can object if you want. As you can see, we provided you data in 2 ways, westbound and eastbound. And the amount of traffic that is breaking the law is relatively small. You have people at least, like in this case on the westbound, 86% of the people are going the speed limit. And then cars going another 5 miles over, which is speeding, but you know, it not considered horrible, is another 11%. So when you add up those two percentages, you get almost 98% of the cars are, you know, relatively following the law. That we're down to, you know, in this a relatively small pool of cars. There were 35 cars that were going over the limit. And then that was eastbound. Oh, you're showing.
Where am I
Oh, I'm
going?
sorry, I'm doing backwards.
Where do I need to be?
No, you were fine.
Right there? Okay.
I'll just change. I was talking about the eastbound traffic, and he has up on the screen, I believe, the west. Go down just a little bit to be sure. Down, no, the other way.
Oh, up this way.
Okay, this is the westbound. The westbound traffic is even more. 99% of the cars are going below 30 miles an hour. That's, 5 miles over the speed limit, but not significant. So there isn't much traffic disobeying the law. But if you notice, I attached something different to the traffic study this time. If you go scroll all the way down to the last page. I did this analysis as part of the traffic data that it comes, you gotta look to a certain specific page. And I put down all of the cars that were, and the time of day that these cars were speeding, okay? And what's pretty significant, that for westbound traffic, there seems to be, if you look at almost every day of the week, there was one car speeding at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Try the same person.
There's a good chance that it's the same person,
Not one of us.
And so, and that made up, and it throws off the data really much when one person is contributing, when you have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 speeding cars, 8 speeding cars, and one person is doing the majority of it 4 times, of that, and then one is an outlier that comes at 8 o'clock at night. I put
Back on 50, he's at 11.
Yeah, and so, and true of the eastbound traffic is going toward the post office. And the westbound is, coming home. So it's interesting,
Fix that.
they're flying up, there's a lot more traffic, kind of breaking the law. And it looks like it's all leaving for work, kind of,
Late to work.
but I'm hoping that with this data, we can zero in on, maybe providing the police a little bit more focused data where they can, show up at a certain time and have a better chance of either ticketing or warning that person to slow down. The other thing I was going to approach Kelsey Greer is, I believe that they have a homeowner association down there. They must, because it's all townhouses. That if they wanted to, that maybe the association would, if they wanted to have a slow down sign, if they're willing to purchase the sign in working with the city, then they could get a particular sign at a particular location, and the city has shown a willingness to put them up if they meet the specifications. But I hope this has been, I just don't see us having any other, do you guys have any other suggestions for dealing with this issue?
It really looks like we just need to talk Mr. Smith what time today to go down there and enforce.
Where was the camera at?
The camera was on Northwest Second.
Is there by the ball court or?
Like down here, Bob? By the park?
Yeah, somewhere near the park.
Okay, that's all right. I just curious. Right in the middle's probably somewhere where they can pick up.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job. They picked up a good amount of data. I mean, there was a lot of cars. I mean, we picked up, going eastbound, there was 1,700, there was a total of 1,750 cars, and westbound, there was 1,617 cars. So I mean, it was in a good location. It was picking up a lot of cars. But the interesting part is that this is one of those neighborhoods that you have a lot of compliance, but you have 1 or 2 outliers.
Gotcha.
That doesn't excuse the speeding, but it makes it difficult to pour a lot of resources into this. And I'm gonna give my slow pitch for you guys to think about. This is the kind of thing that if you had a camera enforced ticketing system would work fine when you have the ability, like a van, to take it to this neighborhood. And they would give the tickets to these, because the thing in with the red flags, not red flag, but radar enforced, there's a 10-mile over the limit kind of window because of the camera. So you'd only pick up the real bad speeders, but you could address this really.
Oh, they quit.
They would quit
Yeah.
real quickly. And
The other thing too is if, that Ms. Greer, could have her clipboard, try to be watchful of, to identify that, you know, we've got some clues here on the times of the day. And, maybe jot down the description of the car, license plate if possible, then turn that over to the police. Then that will give them some really good,
Yeah,
You
they
don't
don't stop.
yeah.
we need to kind of ask for citizen input and more, and be willing to address that, be advocates for themselves, because the police can't be at all this places in the city where you have minor, amounts of traffic violations. But any other thoughts, folks? Jenny, Jackie, Eric? Nobody?
Just in general, I mean, are the police open to hearing, hey, there's this specific type of car that speeds down my street? I mean, are they able to react to that?
Yeah, I had a young man that was driving on my commute to work every day, and I'm just like, this kid he's gonna get into an accident or get himself killed or someone else. And I called the police on emergency, and they called me back, and a Canby officer called me back, and they went and tracked him down at the high school, talked to him, talked to his mom. His mom called me and thanked me. So, and he never, my commute, he never did it again. So if my experience has been helpful, that, so.
If you see something, say something.
Okay, no, we had a black Challenger that was going down our street at like 50 miles an hour, like every day before and after school for quite some time. It's like I never saw his actual like license plate, but I'm like, geez, dude. And it seemed like it was probably a kid because of the time of day, and it's since calmed down. So I don't know if he got into any hassles for the way that he was driving and it slowed him down, or if he just isn't in school anymore. But that's good to know. So non-emergency is the best route to go.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jerry.
Plate number.
Yeah, I think we need to encourage citizen advocacy, because our police really cannot be every place at every time. But thank you, and I thank Public Works for being cooperative to try to gather the data, and I think
Oh,
data drive.
Thank you. Most of the work off.
Well, you guys put them up, so. Moving on then. And I will talk to, is it okay if I would reach out to Kelsey Greer and share with her this conversation? Sure. Is that okay with you guys?
Sounds good.
Moving on. Any old business? Any other old bills? Okay, if not, we move on to city staff reports. Shall we start with planning?
Good morning, everyone. I don't have any big announcements. Planning Commission lately has been a lot of work sessions for the comp plan. So no big projects kind of coming to PC that I see. But yeah, happy to answer any questions.
Of course I have one. I noticed that on the agenda, I think for next week or so, there is a development coming up on the corner of Ivy and 13th Street.
Yep, yeah, the memory care facility. So
Yeah.
that's moving forward. Yeah, it's gonna be a pre-construction conference.
And
They need to fix our signal.
yeah, isn't that, That's a good suggestion. That was my question, is that, one, where's the exit on that? I couldn't tell from the drawing too clearly where the,
The last one, Brianna, they had two. They had one where the original house is on Ivy and where the one is right across from the old center.
okay.
Yep.
I don't know if it's changed.
I thought the driveway looked like it was gonna come off on Ivy Street.
I'll share the plans with you. Hold on. Yeah, it does look like the only access is off of Ivy.
Oh, it's changed then, that's good.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what my recollection.
Right here.
And so, so I think that this is a good time. And I think it is a good time for us to put more energy into making sure that signal on 13th and Ivy becomes much more, addresses all the concerns.
They have to move that signal post for development. They have to move the signal arm.
So if they're moving the arm, this would be a good time for them to adjust all the lights on it and solve this problem.
It fell through the cracks last time, but it got held up, so I don't know, we're gonna try again. Is it the same people, Brianna?
Yeah, it's the same project. Same people.
Okay. Well,
For as close as that is to an intersection, is it gonna be right turn only out?
I believe that is the case. I'll have to look at the conditions of approval.
Do you know at full capacity, how many cars will be in the complex at any given time?
Well, this is a memory care facility, so these folks won't be driving it or having cars at all. These units along the eastern edge are independent living and they each have 2 parking spaces per unit. So it's pretty well parked, and then there is guest parking in the banks along Ivy here.
Where is this at? It's for pre-con?
Yeah,
So it's been through planning commission?
yep, yeah, this has been approved for about 2 years. They got an extension, a 1-year extension to keep that approval. So yeah, I mean, so far, everything is as it was approved at planning commission. During pre-con next week, I'll talk about all the conditions of approval that they still need to show compliance with. But yeah, it's the same project, same company, same facility that was approved.
I thought Don was keeping that to 1 year, or they had to start over.
They got their extension, so
Because I lost last time on 6.
Mhm.
well,
And there is there's an exit on Ivy and 13th. There's entrances on both. See it right there on the,
oh, I do see that.
Perfect.
and they've changed it a little bit in the last.
well,
Yeah,
I know a certain citizen who's going to be at the pre-construction meeting.
Yep.
And I have a good feel for that person is going to bring up serious concerns about the signal
oh, yeah.
light.
Yeah.
It makes any difference, okay? It's beyond my person's control. I think they will be strongly advocating that that's a intersection is crowded and it needs to be resolved, because this will just add to the
That was
busyness of that intersection.
That was my worry, was at the time, I wanted to get the county involved to make sure we didn't need some dedicated right of way at least. So if we did have to put a turn lane in. You know, if we had a wide road, that's what I was hoping, but I think this is a done deal.
Well, if you put in a dedicated turn lane, then you should at least have a dedicated turn signal so that people, that lane doesn't stack up.
Yeah.
You know? And it's time. Okay,
Yeah, I won't be involved in any pre-construction meetings because it's already passed the commission. Brianna, did you say that the rest of the parking for like the employees and visitors, you said something about the banks around Ivy? Is it all within that corner? Like, is it actually within the development or is it on the
Yeah,
street?
there's no public street
Okay.
parking.
Perfect. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of tucked in around there. Okay. Thank you very much.
any other questions?
I'm gonna follow up with Joe Merrick too on if we can do that turn lane without getting property from
Okay,
them. But I don't think there's anything you can do, Bob. I think this ship
Yeah.
is sailed, Elizabeth Planning Commission.
well,
We're at pre-con now.
but I'm not necessarily fighting about a turn lane, I'm fighting about the signal lights having a designated light to be able to turn.
Yeah, yep.
Which would require a light.
It might, that's what I'm worried about.
Oh, I
is
see.
If we might need a little bit of real estate, like 4 or 5 feet and move the signal on to get that lane. That was my worry on this. But if it doesn't go back to planning commission, it's like that forever now.
Says.
Hopefully we don't need it. I don't want to cause an alarm, but I'm gonna follow up just to make sure.
Can't the signal light be sequenced so that you still
I don't know, maybe
have a
that's,
turn
I am not up
possibility.
on signals.
I don't think you can
without
put a turn light, or turn light, because not everybody's gonna turn, so you have to have a turn lane if you have a turn light.
The last time I talked to them, they told me we needed another lane to do that, but I don't wanna. I don't know.
Well, I just noticed that like at Fred Meyer's. When you come out of Fred Meyer's, I mean, there's a right only turn, but
Yep.
if you're going out. There is a sequence that it becomes, there is a designated time when you can turn left. And then the rest of the time, it is just flat. So it does,
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit foggy.
well, I mean, it is possible, I know it's possible to not have to have a designated turn lane. To have a reserve
Just
turn left,
time. Okay, I get what you're saying now.
okay? Use Fred Meyer's as a reference point, please. I don't want to be argumentative, but I am.
No, but you make a point, that one is, yeah, they just.
It's no different. It's the same. This is the same as 13, so yeah, Bob's right. But I don't know about this. You know what I mean? I don't know about this. This is the same, but
But the signaling, there's signal frequency.
yep. So we might be fine.
I'm hoping so. Because I mean, this is going to be more and more probable.
There's an extra lane here though. Right?
Yeah.
Then on 13, that's the only difference. Other than that, everything's the same. That's what I don't know about.
And the big sensitivity that I would like for everybody to have is it isn't just the traffic at this intersection. The people that are being affected are the whole neighborhoods around, because people are avoiding this intersection. They're flooding our neighborhoods that doesn't have to be impacted. That's not fair.
They're doing the same thing over on Burr and cutting through and going out Ivy too because of that, you know, because of whatever they.
It's just not
Go
fair.
through Holly. All right.
It's just not fair. We should do something. Anyway. Okay, down off your pulpit. Thank you, Britt. Anything else?
Nope.
Bless you guys' heart. Thank you very much. Public Works.
Main thing we have going is, we've done the first reading at city council for the Pine and 10th Avenue engineering. So we got the first reading approved by them, so we're gonna, after second reading, we got 30 days. If they approve the second reading waiting period, we're gonna start design of North Pine and 10th Avenue from Pine to, yeah. I'm surprised you didn't see that on the agenda, Bob.
I'm sorry, I've been preoccupied. Usually I would stay real close beyond the city council, but I
It's on the agenda for next week for second reading, so.
Yeah, so that's great news. Locust is finished up pretty much, Little Yellow Paint. We got a little sewer work to do over on Birch. Ivy Street, we got a bunch more right away, so we're gonna start hopefully firing back up, getting the power underground. Stuff complete on that. We've got all set. We got a 2-year waiting period on wire. Not crazy on getting wire, so we're gonna try to get all the conduit in and then
wire later.
pull it later when maybe the project's even done. I don't know.
So what's the new target date for Ivy's completion?
We want to put it out to bid in the fall. And so probably a year, maybe a year for construction, if everything goes smooth, depending on materials and stuff like that, but might be a year and a half. So I don't want to keep it, we pushed it out. We should have been under construction right now. So hopefully a year from today, hopefully we're halfway through that. So.
Thank you.
Always just gonna add a couple of things. I really think that four-way stop at Redwood and Territorial is helping a lot. However, I think with all the new construction that's taking place, there's a lot more cars. I get the impression there's a lot of new people. There can be that, are a lot more speeders. And so again, I'm hoping to get a count on the North Vine and Territorial, because I really think the current numbers will far exceed past in terms of speeders. And I was also going to see if you would look at that as a possible candidate for a crosswalk going over, because it's got 88 to 88. There's tons of walkers that come from our side and go over across and go into that park.
The new development.
Yeah. And it's got sidewalks, 88 both sides. And with the extra speeders, it really gets to be dangerous to cross that road with your dogs. And so, yeah, those would be my two requests, is get a counter on that section and review that data together as a group, and then also consider that for our crosswalk. And with that, I have to go to my dentist appointment.
Oh, fine. I'm like yesterday.
Thanks.
Anything else for Public Works?
Thanks.
Yes.
I've got something for Jerry. So what's the current update on 99? Do they still think they're going to get to it before it starts raining?
They say it's on schedule, but it's not. I mean, they're gonna get, what I see them happening, Jenny, is getting all the storm work done, ADA ramps, all that stuff done, and then when they get their next window of weather. So it depends on the goals, but if we have they have to have, it's gotta be, so when they get all their work done, you can see it's gonna be coming into winter. It's gotta be 50 degrees and rising, and it's not, so it's gonna be hard for them to get it done this year. So I would say that we're gonna see the paving and all that stuff the following year, I guess, in the spring. Yeah, that's my guess, but they still think they're gonna get it done, so.
They're wrong.
Yeah, I just don't know how.
Changing that pipe that for the storm.
That's what they're working on. They're working on that now.
No.
They're doing all the upgrades on that. It's getting the storm done. What they're doing, Bob, is by having to change all the storm, they're having to redo the storm system. Well, they're running into major utility conflicts with water, sewer lines. So Public Works is having to go out, pothole how deep they are so they can design their system, so that it doesn't interfere with us. And then Canby Utilities gonna have to move power lines and move water mains to do this. So it's turned into a lot bigger project. But the nice thing is the tracks, they did a great job on the tracks. They ride nice. We're moving the tracks.
And
Yeah, it's a nice part, yeah.
I would like to compliment all of you guys because I know it's a big hassle having to make all the changes. But it's better we do it now than to put in a beautifully paved road and then start cutting up it immediately because they've run into problems.
The other good part too is I've been, I don't know if you guys know what a sewer pump station is. But we had one, and it takes the gravity sewer from an area, lifts it up, pumps it up to another gravity area, and I had one back in Safeway that was super old. And we were able to take that out, reverse the flow on the sewer line and get across 99 during this construction. So that's gonna save Public Works a lot of work dealing with that Safeway pump station. And we also included, if you guys get a chance, run down and look at the new parking at Community Park. I don't know if anyone's seen the upgrades down there. We added, I don't know, 35 parking spots, and we're putting in 2 brand new CTX concrete restrooms down there. They're on here in January, December.
Yeah,
So,
good job.
yeah.
Can we talk to them about getting the orange no right turn signs covered up again?
Should be. They're uncovered again because I just covered them all. I don't know, let me know if you see them uncovered, because they're gonna get in trouble if they do it again. So I went.
I saw them as recently as yesterday, but I have not been out today.
Okay, I will. So while they're not doing work, Bob, they turn the orange signs backwards.
Oh,
And they're confusing and they're supposed to keep them covered, and they're gonna get in trouble if they come uncovered again. And so they were supposed to have them all covered.
okay.
But I mean, if
I'll
we-
check one on my way home,
yeah, let me know, because
cause yeah, it is confusing, cause I know one day I was like, wait, what's going on here? And I'm like, oh, it's a turn right.
yeah.
I can just go walk outside and tell you.
Yeah, sure. And then I've got one other question. I got one other question for you. There's something being built at Township in Redwood, kind of over on the outskirts of the middle school there. It's just something that's got black fencing and some yellow, they look like kind of like those cement tubes that have like plastic over them. Do you guys know what that is?
Brandon, you know what?
Township and Redwood, I can't think of it.
Not off the top of my head, but I can look into it. Township.
School? Like on the school?
Township in Redwood.
Redwood.
Yeah, it's not quite at the school. It's kind of like where you stop at the intersection of Township and Redwood, and it's actually on Redwood on the south side, so kind of the school side. And it's not very far. It's like right on the other side of the sidewalk, and I'd guess it's maybe like, I don't know, 8 by 12. It's kind of like this rectangular area. It's got some kind of cement pad at the bottom, and then it's got black metal chain link fencing around it. And then it has a couple like little yellow barrier things between the fenced area and the sidewalk. And it's like right up on the sidewalk. I'm like, what could that possibly be?
Is that on the short side of the road?
No, it's
It's on,
next to the cabinet shop, right? Is it next to the cabinet shop?
no, it's kind of like out in that open field where if you were going to be heading towards either Trost or Baker Prairie, it's like that open field on the corner of Township and Redwood. Except it's very close to the intersection. It's on Redwood on the south side, so towards the school side. So there's nothing there but a field and then this new little apparatus.
Where everybody likes to park their cars from that neighborhood. Maybe they're trying to mitigate that.
I don't know.
No, it's on the other side of the sidewalk, so I don't see how it would. I was like, it's bizarre. So well, I guess we'll find out later what it is, but it's just popped up recently. So.
All right,
Yeah, what I can find out.
Tracy.
I really don't have anything to report. I already said that those projects Jerry mentioned are on the agenda for the 16th for second reading, but other than that, I don't really have anything unless you have questions.
We appreciate you guys' help to get those projects moving. Very good. Okay, board members' reports. Dane?
For
Tina?
me, one thing that I'm noticing, and I'm thankful that the park got done because that's near our neighborhood and we actually have been gaining a lot of traffic that was using one of our side streets to get avoid it because they had to get turned around because the road was closed. But I've noticed that in the evenings when I'm coming home, when it's a hot day, there's a lot of cars coming out of there. And they aren't necessarily stopping at the stop sign. They just like, I'm good to go and cut people off. So the other night I got cut off coming home. So people just aren't obeying the stop sign at the park.
At the community park.
Yeah.
What would you like for us to do with that?
I'm just wondering if there's any way to maybe. I don't know, this, it seems like people should be obeying the traffic laws, so. But just want people aware, so, because I'm worried that there could be an accident one of these days. Especially with people coming off of Burke Parkway.
Okay. Ben's gone. Jenny?
I don't have anything new for you, just those four-way stops on Elm and finding out what the mysterious new thing is over on Redwood.
We look forward to that discussion next month. Jackie?
Just the norm, actually, I have a question for Jerry. Will
Yeah.
you be doing a data count, how fast people are going from that, the speed
What she said.
radar, the speed display?
We couldn't get what you said. The data,
You know, the speed radar sign on Southwest 13th, are you able to take the data off of that?
No.
Okay.
We can't, that one we can't, no.
Can we put the radar thing over there?
That's, Bob and Spencer got that worked out. You have to talk to them. They don't let me get involved in that. Everywhere.
Yeah, it's been interesting because having that sign, you're able to see how fast, I mean, people going 38.
Jackie, I can get information off of it, but it's not as accurate as you know what I mean? It's not. Yeah, I don't know if I still have since we bought that, that's the sign we used to use and move around. I don't know, I can check, but do we?
it's better to use the
Yeah,
radar.
Yeah, that's cool. I think we were on the schedule at some point. I just don't remember when.
I will talk to Spencer.
okay.
We have 2 requests now for speed data. The North Vine and also now 13, so.
I think 13th should wait until September or October when school's in session. That gives a much more accurate.
Okay, well, we'll talk to,
That's a good idea.
I'll talk to Spencer if you guys want. Is there anything else, Jackie?
No, that's good.
Eric?
I have nothing to report.
Okay, and oh my goodness gracious.
We could be done early.
Unbelievable. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Well, thank you, folks. Keep smiling. Look forward to seeing you guys next month. Next month meeting is. Had it down.
Wow, this is early.
September 13th, at 8:30. Okay?
Right.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take
Bye.
care.
My goodness gracious.
Mhm.